Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program is rated for all audiences.
Four Guys on Sports is sponsored by CrookedRiverRadio.com. Crooked River Radio is an internet radio station that is live 24/7 playing rock and adult contemporary top 40 hits from the 60s through the 90s. You can find us on Live 365, Simple Radio, Roku, Radio Garden, and even Alexa, as well as our website. Come on and join us on the Crooked River.
Good evening, morning, afternoon, something like that.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're here. Just a little late, but that's all.
Trying to get all the wheels turning all at once.
Yeah.
There's
Get
one.
the hamster going.
Yeah, we got to get that hamster out. And it's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. There, that looks better.
Little technical difficulty, man, won't stop nothing.
That's right. We're still going to be here one way or the other.
Okay.
And today it's going to be till 12:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
How about that? We can handle that.
Yes, sir.
Can you handle it, Nick?
We got a bunch of people in here today.
Absolutely.
We got a bunch of people in here today. We got Eric,
What's up?
Special guest Mr. Eric Nanarone. And, of course, we got our regulars here. Good evening. Good day, man. Good day, Nate.
Sure. Good morning. Good morning, man.
And the old standby Shawn.
Yeah, and then Gordon will be hopefully coming in. He's running late.
Yeah, you know how it is to get old. When you get his age,
old,
you just kind of just mosey around.
Yeah, he's hurting a little bit too. So.
Oh.
That rotator cuff issue.
Oh, I forgot about
that. Yeah, you got to take care of that, boy. Ice that thing up, heat it up.
Yeah.
Doing a couple things with it. I wonder if he had any, did they say any surgery things needed for him?
He's supposed to go for consultation this Wednesday, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's freaky how that stuff happens. Anyway, what do we got today?
Yeah, we got the continuation of the Deshawn saga. You got the start of training camps for the NFL, and
we also got a developing quarterback situation. I've been following. Everybody's been following the Browns thing with Deshawn. He's threatened to sue if he gets a year off.
Yeah.
But the big development here, the one that we ought to have a breaking news thing on, is the fact that
they went out and got Josh Rosen as a backup.
They picked up Josh Rosen as a backup, exactly. What a waste.
Yeah, still don't know why they done the Josh Rosen instead of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to pay Garoppolo. That's what it comes down to. They don't want to pay Garoppolo as much as he's making for the little time that they think that Deshaun will be out.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to come down to the length, but I'm wondering, with how they only went after Josh Rosen, how long it's going to actually be.
Yeah, it's just, to say the least, that's a gamble. Man, he's talking a risk because we really don't know what's going to happen, but maybe they have some intel that, they're not sharing.
But what this tells me is they don't trust Josh Dobbs to be the backup.
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah.
And are they going to take and dump him before the season?
Good chance. Most teams only carry 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think that I don't see Rosen staying here more than a year.
Yeah.
If that long.
Yeah, we'll see how that comes out in the training camp too. So.
Yeah, they worked him out and all that, from what I understood.
He's been one of the big NFL busts.
The other bust was McCarron. They worked him out too, and they took Rosen over him. So I guess that says quite a bit too. And McCarron could have actually been here at one point. I didn't want him.
I think the issue with McCarron is his knee too. So
he was that guy from Cincinnati, and I had no want for that guy at all.
Anything that Hugh Jackson likes, I don't. So that means I'm not a fan of A.J. McCarron.
It pretty much came down to between the two of them. I think they took the better one, but what do I know?
And it just seems to me the only thing that really made sense was to go after Garoppolo.
And I don't know why in the hell they didn't. Of course, Jimmy wouldn't want to have been a backup anyway. Yeah.
I don't think it's unfortunate for him though, but he finds himself in a strange situation where right now I don't think he's going to be a starter for a while. I think it's unfortunate because he's in a unique situation.
I was watching that News Now station the other day, or yesterday, and there was a thing in the scroll that said San Francisco offered him something, but when it went to scroll to tell what it was, the damn scroll went off because they went to commercial. Mm-hmm. That is about as aggravating as sticking a carrot in front of somebody hungry and saying, "Here, you can eat," and then taking it away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's argumentative to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is.
Yes, it is. What else?
It all builds and plays into intrigue, though. At the start of the season, when Baker comes to town, or when Cleveland meets Baker again, so
yeah,
it all plays into that.
Yeah.
Who's sitting there?
Well, I hate to say it, but I hope if there's one game that we win next year, I hope it's the first one.
I'm sure Baker is glad to see it. We'll be happier to see Josh. More happy to see Josh than Jimmy, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll help hype him up.
Yeah. We'll see who's the better quarterback between Baker and Jacoby.
Yeah, I think that's gonna. That may have a tendency to bite us in the rear end.
Yeah, it'll be first game, no big deal.
First game, I don't discuss.
Yeah, it is, because that flipping Mayfield needs his ass beat.
Yeah, he's going to be getting a lot of that throughout the season. I just don't know if the Browns is going to have enough established at that point to be the one to do it. I just think that I don't know, man. It just seems to be a little dysfunctional when you start thinking that quarterback position. Yeah. And even when you think of the way they are, just think there is absolutely zero chemistry going on between the quarterbacks and receivers right now. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But then, does that even say much? Consider what they caught all of last season. they were last in the league in touchdown passes, man. Mm-hmm. And they were supposed to be so dynamic and stuff. So
yeah, I think now they'll be a little bit better with Amari versus what was there last year too. So.
And I don't, but my thing is, I don't think it was really a talent thing last year. I think it was a chemistry thing. Well, I think the issue last year was the combination of immaturity, and I think it prohibited them from really developing the type of on-field chemistry that was needed, coupled with the array of of injuries. So I think they did have some problems, with injuries.
Amari Cooper is an upgrade over what was there last year too. So.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Mari's an upgrade, but they really still haven't figured out the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So you're going to have. So to me, I mean, you got a great likelihood that the start of the season won't start off all that well.
Yeah.
But even when they figure out the starting quarterback situation, it's not. Neither Rosen or Brissett are really that competent. I don't think. I think Brissett's proved when he was in Indianapolis that he's not capable of being a full-time starter. I know that's not what he is going to be here, but that's mostly what he will be for 6 to 8 games that Deshawn is suspended. And the Browns are in trouble if that's what they're running out there.
Well, the other part of the game, though, and this is where I think Mr. Mayfield ought to be crapping his pants. That first game is going to have a very hungry Myles Garrett, and it's going to have a very hungry to prove itself defense against the mediocre offense of North Carolina. Of Panthers.
I hope it does. I hope they don't see Baker as friendly fire and go after him soft.
Wow.
I don't know. It might be hard to get him off out of their minds. Hey, Baker in the practice field. They weren't hitting him. They weren't hitting him in practice. So,
yeah.
So it may be hope they can move away from that real quick. I don't know what kind of rapport relationship they really had with him. We don't know. And we won't really know. This game may tell us a little bit like, hey, this is business, man, and personal. So hopefully we see that kind of attitude out there.
Yeah, you got Mr. 99 on Madden, Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I was proud of that when I saw that.
Yeah, the Steelers or that one guy, T.J. Watt, said he was better than Garrett. And he was only voted a 96.
Yeah.
Interesting ranking, yeah. But I don't know. And then as we looking at this potential quarterback challenge between these two teams, man, I can't. I am eager. I'm really eager to see how well Baker performs.
Uh-huh.
I'm so eager to see how this guy performs. Because it's going to tell us a lot. Has this guy grown up? Did this experience do anything for him?
Mm-hmm.
Because either it helped him tremendously, or
as far as that goes, he ain't learned anything from this. He just thought everybody was against him and blah blah blah. Well, there's 2 facts that hasn't changed. Number one, he's still 5'9", 6 foot, whatever he is. He's not tall enough really to be a decent quarterback, which is what, when I saw Deshawn Watson play, I really didn't realize what the difference between in height was. But even in the practices I've seen with Watson on the field, what you see there is an incredible amount of talent, and he can see the field better than Baker ever could have.
Yeah.
Because isn't he like 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah, he's about. I think he's 6'4". And the simple fact of it is, he's going to be. He's going to be better than what we had. There ain't no question. Plus the fact that Baker's immaturity is going to get to him eventually. And when he gets eaten alive by somebody like Garrett and Clowney, I think that's going to, offensively, I don't think they're going to be able to do much as far as the Panthers.
The biggest question, will Myles Garrett add Baker to his graveyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hope.
Yeah.
And I hope he puts on his tombstone in his yard. I want to see a big old Browns helmet with an X through it.
Yeah.
And then the Panthers helmet next to it. I think that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah. It's going to be an interesting game, though, for that first game.
So, look, here's a thought. So, why didn't the Browns consider Cam Newton?
Yeah, that's what I thought they were leaning towards.
He's probably going to want too much money. That's the thing.
I don't think at this point, man. I don't know.
Well, and maybe they want to turn Rosen into a reclamation project and throw him on the practice squad and see if they give him a few years, if he could turn into a competent backup behind Deshawn.
Wow.
What happened to the boy out of Cordell Jones out of Ohio State? What happened to him? Jones.
No, he's I just heard an interview with him. He's running some youth organization now.
So he's out of league?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do a poor job developing some of these guys, don't they? It seemed like he came with all the requisite everything you needed: the size, the strength, big arm.
Kind of reminds you of what's his name now, Jamarcus Russell. Almost. What happened to him?
It's like I don't know if the NFL was in. I mean, man, they player development for quarterbacks, man, it's just not there, is it?
Yeah.
Especially when you look at a team like Chicago, even. They've been known to ruin quarterbacks almost as much as the Browns have.
But they get ruined because they can't protect them, man.
Yeah.
Guy getting his head bashed in, man.
It's going to be interesting to see how Justin Fields goes with it being a second year. So, but I know in terms of quarterbacks, the Buckeyes, that C.J. Stroud, they're saying is already predicted next year's first pick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny. So they're predicting him first pick, but they're not predicting him to win the Heisman.
No.
I find that funny, man.
Yeah, well, it's going to hurt him because you got a three-headed monster there in Ohio State with him, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and then Travion. So we'll see. That might hurt his chances of getting a Heisman there.
I guess Cordell Jones is actually in the Canadian Football League.
Okay.
To answer your question from earlier, Nate.
Okay, so, well, that's good. Okay. He seemed like he, I don't know. At least he follows passion a little bit, though. But it seemed like he, had a lot of skills that would have translated well into the NFL. But
I feel like he'll be back in the XFL once it launches again next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was there last time, but it folded because of COVID. So it'll be interesting to see how that league turns out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully better than it did the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. talking about football, I know I want to go off a little off the pace of pros and that, and say a prayer for the Flossie family. They're up in Akron. Mr. Tim Flossie passing away. Coach.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
great coach there at Bookdale and Central and all, the Akron City series wise.
Man, Coach Flossie passed.
Yeah.
That's sad. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, he's I know he led Bookdale to 2 state championships. So yeah, he's a heck of a coach, man. Because he came to Central and he turned that program around, man.
Yeah,
those guys, man. I mean, just think he took bottom feeders, man, and made them, a powerhouse in a very short period of time. Yeah. Very good coach.
And doing good until recently. I know they had some abuse allegations in that, when he was coaching over at Firestone. Lost his job there. So
I just read a comment here. It's actually in Browns Nation, this thing I follow on Facebook. It says, well, with Baker gone, Deshawn up in the air, and signing another dud quarterback in Rosen, I hope they do better than 6-11. What do you guys think?
Depends on how long they got to spend on Josh Rosen.
No, I mean, yeah, they're not going to have to depend on Rosen as far as I know, because he's not going to be the
he's going to
starting
be the
quarterback.
string.
Yeah, he's going to be.
I think they'll be close to a 500 team, but that's about it.
Well, as far as the records in that, I think a lot of it's going to be whatever he gets suspended for. We all know the suspension's coming. It's hard to say not that isn't going to happen.
And when do they play Houston? What week do they play Houston?
I haven't really seen a schedule yet. Anybody else know?
I think it's like right around the bye week or whatever.
I know you're right. I just don't know what week.
Let me look it up.
That'd be an interesting follow-up, game with Deshawn coming back at that time.
Well, from what I've been reading, I don't think this is going to go a year. He's already threatening to sue them. If it's a year suspension, he's already going to sue the league. That'll get cut down. I'm thinking myself between 4 and 8 games, and if it's half the season, half the season will be left.
Yeah.
You just hope everything stays together for them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for the schedule now.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
But, I think that a lot of it's going to depend.
No, that'll be week 13 they actually play them, so that's... I think they'll, yeah.
So it's week 13. That's over halfway.
The bye week is week 9, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go for the first 8 games.
I just hope there's going to be a reacclimation period for him when he does decide to, or when they do decide to let him back in, or Watson back in. He's going to have to come on strong, that's all. But it could be, sometimes these delays like that are a blessing, because the player's got fresh legs, and if you're doing all right to to the point where he comes out. I mean, look at what happened with Baker the one year. He actually came in, and then after that they brought Hunt back in. Yeah. And Hunt had fresh legs in that, and he kind of spelled Chubb there for a while. Yeah, that's the kind of things I'm looking for in this.
Well, the thing is with Deshawn though, is he going to have the chemistry? That's the biggest issue.
Going to be a little chemistry and rust there too.
So, because with the difference between running backs don't need a ton of chemistry, but quarterback needs all the chemistry he could get. So there's, at least in my opinion, I feel there's a huge difference between the Hunt situation and the Deshawn situation.
Well, the simple fact of it is, though, he's still going to have fresh legs.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't be as beat up as he would have been if he played from the beginning. That's the thing I look at.
I think this year is going to be more of a lost year anyways, but we'll see.
Well, we've thought that in the past.
Maybe they'll just go ahead and do the right thing, suspend the guy for like 2-3 games and keep him moving.
Yeah.
To be honest, man, no one, people don't nobody really give a hoot, man. I mean, especially under
you're going to hear all this bull crap right up until the day he gets on the field and wins a game.
Yeah. Because when you think about
all that crap will disappear. I've seen that. I'm not going to buy no season tickets because of Deshawn Watson.
I mean, this whole arbitrator thing is a joke because she could come up with her ruling and then the commissioner can say, oh, I don't like it. I'm going to do what I want. Okay, what's the point of having her then other than for the optics of it? It's if her ruling doesn't stand, it's a waste of her time. I mean, I don't know what you.
Well, there has been rumor that this whole thing could be, she could be dragging her feet about ruling because she's wanting the two sides to come to an agreement.
Yeah,
I've heard that more than once on different sports shows.
Hey, let's just switch it up just a little bit. Let's talk about a little bit of money and talk about some baseball. Talk about Washington Nats, man.
Juan Soto.
Yeah, he turned down. So what's your take on that?
15 years.
I can hardly say
15 years,
$440 million, 15 years. And now when you think about this, to be offered the opportunity, be under contract to play a sport that you love for 15 years, okay? When you figure most professional athletes' career average is what, about 7 years or something like that? But you getting under contract for 15 years, $440 million, man, and you turn that down because that's not good enough terms for you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take on that, man? What you guys think of that? Like, what is that? I mean, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to find the rationale. I mean, that's a lot of man. I mean, you got some cojones, man. I mean, dude must think. I mean, what you must really.
The one thing that sticks out in my mind about this, Nate, is the fact that they offered him more than the Indians have as far as a flipping payroll.
Yeah, where are you?
The Indians hit right. I think they hit right around $500 million payroll. And if they offered this guy $450 million,
440 million.
Good Lord. And he turned it down.
40 million.
The Guardians have the youngest roster in the major leagues right now.
I just saw, and I forget who it was who signed the contract, but he was making $43 million a year. They were saying how this guy's making more money than the whole Oakland A's roster times 2.
Wow.
The other side of the money is that because of the Deshawn Watson deal, was it who was it that got that big ass contract?
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, yeah.
Yeah, he just got that. Just a little bit more money, slightly more money than Watson in terms of Deshaun. It's like $500,000.
Annually, he's just his annual salary, so he's right behind Rodgers.
Yeah, I think it's like $46.5 million or $1 million, which is like not much more than what Deshaun is making right now. So.
Yeah, it was Kyler that I was
Kyler Murray
about that is making more than the Oakland A's.
Yeah, Kyler's from down here in Allen, Texas, man. That's a football powerhouse down here.
Mm.
Man. Well, at least Kyler didn't turn that down.
Yeah, he can help with the paying their Allen High School's stadium fund. Down here they got that high school has got the biggest stadium I've ever seen for a high school. $60 million high school stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's bigger. It's probably as big as Akron U's stadium.
That ain't hay.
Yeah.
Up here though, Pat, isn't Maslin Jackson? I think.
Yeah, they've got a pretty big stadium there.
There's nothing down compared to down here. That stadium there for Allen, I think, holds over 20,000 people. Easy.
I don't know what the one for Maslin has got they're a big school and they're a big football powerhouse. They've been that way for a lot of years.
You gotta consider down here Allen High School itself. In terms of population, I think they said is over almost 6,000 students there. So it's huge.
Man.
And then heck, there's another school down the road from there, McKinney, that they're talking about building on a stadium about that size too.
How much did you say estimate would be on that stadium, Sean? Do you even capacity was?
For the Allen High School?
Yeah.
I think it was like 60 million.
Okay. Because Maslin Stadium is 16,392.
Okay, let me look at the Allen High Schools. It holds 18,000, actually. Its construction cost was 60 million.
Wow, and that's for a school.
Yeah, high school.
Yeah.
People up here they'd all be having hemorrhages.
No kidding.
Let me see if I can post the.
That's more than our budget.
Yeah, it don't really show.
It doesn't really show, but it's huge.
Oh no, taxpayers have to pay for a new stadium? No, that's not possible. Yeah, okay.
Look at all the talk about the what's his name in the Browns wanting a new stadium.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I'm making fun of the whole thing. But yeah, I agree. They do need a new stadium. It's funny, the people who say, why do you need a new stadium? do you have seats? Do you have, a playing surface? Do you have players? Yes. Then you don't need a new stadium. Yeah, you do. There's a lot of updates that they'd have to do to that stadium. Plus, as we've talked about before, they want to put gambling devices at all the seats. They're not gonna. That's gonna cost way too much money to just add on to an existing stadium.
Yeah. Well, as far as the add-ons and stuff like that, that's one thing. And the only thing that I'm a little afraid of, and it better not happen again, we better not have another Art Modell in our hands here, or he decides he's going to move it in.
And look who decided to show up, guys.
Well. Good afternoon.
No good.
Hey, oh man. Glad to be a part of all this.
I don't think Jimmy Haslam is Art Modell to what you said, Pat.
You know how big they are.
Yeah.
We just don't need another situation. Cleveland has a tendency not to learn from its mistakes. And it comes down to their government up there, too. I lived up there. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And what this comes down to is the fact that Cleveland better have learned from the Art Modell situation and not let that escalate and until out of the possibility of building a stadium. If they want it, they want it. If you put a dome over a stadium like that, you're going to be able to use it twice as much.
I agree, and
Instead
that's why I've been
events
arguing
in
for
a
a
year.
dome for a long time. But can you really add a dome onto the existing stadium, or would it be more sensible to build a whole new stadium and not have to retrofit a dome on top of the already existing stadium?
When that stadium was designed, it was designed to have a dome put on it. I don't know the exact facts of it. That stadium is getting a little old now.
Yeah.
They need a retractable, like a retractable stadium.
Yeah,
Cowboys have.
But would it be cheaper in the long run to take and build something like that and have it independently funded than to take and just keep purchasing it from the city? Mm-hmm. When you're in a contract with a city like that, they don't want to repair anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably where Haslam's at with this.
And I think it would make more sense just to build another stadium. I know it'll be taxpayer funded. Taxpayers don't like that. But in the long run, it would pay off way better. I know they're trying to build around the existing stadium, but you still have that airport right there that they don't want to get rid of for some stupid reason. So get land somewhere else around Cleveland where they can build around it with apartments and hotels and stuff, and that will help the economy way more than keeping it where it is along the lakefront with that waste of an airport right next to it. And that
waste of an airport does have its uses, though. I mean, where are you going to have an air show if it's not there? So you're going to do away with the air show, and that's a moneymaker for Cleveland. I don't care what they say.
But okay, if they move the stadium, couldn't they make a ton more money having venues or having a better venue somewhere else? Like, if they build a dome stadium, couldn't they make a ton more money, which I think you kind of said without saying, Pat, by what you said about having a dome, and that would bring more events here to Cleveland. So I think they need to focus on moving the stadium and building around the stadium in a whole new area.
You've got till 2028 to decide this anyway.
I mean, I know that would
just really preliminary stuff.
I know that would possibly affect, because one of their sites that they're talking about is the site of a local TV station right now. But hey, they can build.
That would be good for Cleveland. Take them out of there.
Hey, build their studios along the lakefront. It's not like we get hurricanes or monsoons or anything.
Give them the airport site.
Yeah. No, tear down the current stadium and just make them trade land. That would work.
Hey, guys, look, switch up a little bit, man. Go to the NBA.
Okay.
So, some of the hottest things going on right now, supposedly Russ Westbrook allegedly did not really say that he wanted out of Los Angeles. Okay, despite the information that came out from his agent that claims that they departed, citing irreconcilable differences. He wants Russ to think his best option is to stay, and states that Russ says he wants to go. Apparently, Russ's camp is walking that back, saying, hey, no, I never said that. And then, in addition to that, then you have this recent news coming out of, supposedly coming out of LeBron James' camp, that he's seen enough from Russ. He's seen all he needs to see, and he ain't trying to play with him another year. So I guess kind of where you guys stand on that, how much of that you buy into, what parts you think is true, what parts you think is untrue, and what's the best situation for Russell Westbrook and the Lakers going forward?
Well, I heard there was a rumor of Russell Westbrook coming here to the Mavs.
Is that a real thing you heard?
That's what I heard.
There's been all kind of rumors. I don't know what to believe on that. All I know is if they can
move
Russ and get Kyrie, it's a great trade. But I don't think that Bron wouldn't say anything like that. He's not that type of dude. He's not going to come out and say that like that. He's much classier than that. Now, the interesting thing, since how you mentioned NBA, there's a thought behind the reason why James Harden took less money.
What's your thought?
Rumor has it that if they can trade, what's his name? Old boy over there in Philly that's getting the big money too.
Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris, and maybe another piece. And with that less money, it's a KD thing because KD and James are good. That would be interesting.
And then Philly's got to fund that new stadium that they're going to be doing too.
Yeah. But that
if they get KD in Philly, it's a wrap.
It would be real interesting because
oh my goodness,
I think James is going to have a really good year with that, and it would be very interesting.
Look,
that's just thought.
If you get KD in Philly with James's off year like he had last year, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
because assuming we're talking about with a healthy Joel Embiid, you got a healthy Joel Embiid, a healthy KD, and even if James had an off year, which I don't believe he's likely to have another one that bad, but even if he had one like that, he still had decent numbers. Man, and you got the other emergence of the other little kind of combo guard there,
Yeah,
Kyrie,
Right.
yeah.
Oh man, it's a wrap. It would be a wrap. You would. It would. Oh man, it would be a wrap.
The only way this doesn't go through is if they want Tyrese Maxey. But I would trade Maxey too to get
KD, right?
KD, because I'm trying to win now.
My goodness. If they do that, then they need to go ahead and let Lakers get Kyrie so we can have, everybody wants to see this showdown anyway, East-West finals, KD, LeBron, everybody kind of want to see that. But I'm going to tell you now, if they get KD over there, Lakers need a little more than Kyrie. They need some more help. I mean, They need somebody else to shoot the ball over there in Laker land.
Yeah. And who's to say they could get past Golden State and what you call it? Clippers are tooling up with John Wall.
I think the Clippers would be an issue. I don't. Golden State, man. I mean, it just happened to play out. Golden State, man, is like, man, they're like. I'm surprised the uniforms aren't green, man. They're the luckiest bunch there is to me. I don't get me wrong. I like Steph, but I'm not really impressed with them, man. I'm not.
Well, you've got Wiseman coming back. The emergence of Wiggins, and I just think that they're gonna be something to reckon with for a while. And Golden State, KD would like to go there. He probably would like to go back.
But he can't say
they're
that.
They're not gonna give away all them young pieces.
No. But it would But I would, if he went back, then almost anywhere he goes, is going to be almost a favorite immediately. I mean, if they just get their act together where they are, if they had a coach up there and those two would buy in, Kyrie and KD, I mean, they get their act together, they're a contender anyway.
Simmons too, I agree.
Right. So I mean, it's not really. That's not the thing, man. It's really, they're soured on the way things turned out right now, and the management there in Brooklyn, they're very displeased. I think really in everything, and particularly they are so displeased with the way Kyrie handled everything.
Yes.
And then KD's grievously offended by that because that's his boy. And he's like, hey, y'all gonna do whatever, y'all couldn't take care of him. I'm ready to be out of here. So if they would just suck it up, knuckle down, man. I mean, and really they do need to send Nash packing, though, to be quite frankly, man. Good guy, but they need a coach, man.
He's not good for that team. No, he's not good with Kyrie there.
They need a stronger coach for starters. They need a coach that's a little stronger.
Speaking of coaches in NBA, the Phoenix Suns signed Monty Williams to a long-term extension. They didn't say how long it was, but that's according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN just about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think it's a good move for him. I mean, he's shown his value as a coach. Does a great job, man, in terms of his ability to be relevant with the players. They appreciate his style. His second term as a coach is far greater than his first term was in Charlotte. He's doing an outstanding job, I think, personally. And that Phoenix team, of course, that was big for them to go ahead and keep him there and get it straight, get it settled with their center. I don't know why it took them so long to be able to appreciate the guy. Somebody else had to show that they appreciate him first. But I think that Phoenix will be around. They're going to be a contender for a long time. But they're a piece away. They're a piece away. They got some good pieces there, but they're a piece away, and they showed it. Dallas put them on notice. In the previous year, Milwaukee put them on notice. Yeah. So they're a piece away. They need something. Obviously KD, if they could have got the thing with KD there, that would have put them over the hump. But as it is, they don't really need KD, but they're a piece away.
Oh, hey guys, switching gears back to football. I'm gonna make a bold prediction.
Dallas.
What do y'all see? What do y'all think of the Saints and possibly Tampa Bay in the AFC Finals? Just
Should be interesting.
That's an interesting.
Highly likely, yeah.
The Saints is, they tooled up big time. Thomas came back, and we're going to see Jameis Winston is going to get his opportunity to shine. And I would love to see him and Tom Brady go against each other.
The thing about it is, I just saw talking about Winston. They brought up I saw on Facebook posting the comparison in terms of numbers between Jameson and Baker is almost identical over the years in terms of numbers.
I just want to see now. It's a shame Deshaun Payton's gone. It may be, but I think we're going to see something different with the Saints this year because you're going to see a defense like no other defense again.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, though, talking about numbers, how, I'll tell you this. And y'all know, trained professional. Numbers is my thing, right? You know. So, and you've heard people say, what is it, the great saying? Numbers don't figures don't lie, but figures sure can. You want to say numbers don't lie, but figures sure can, whatever, or people sure can, create or manipulate and lie, but numbers themselves don't lie and all this other crap like that. But I'm gonna tell you right here. If you don't have an individual to really tell the story that the numbers aren't telling that needs to be told, then there is the interpretation that individuals get from the number is totally amiss.
Yeah, it is, because look at Winston his last year in Tampa Bay. He still threw for over 5,000 yards.
Yep.
But the only thing that is critical about him is that he throws a bunch of interceptions.
Because he's a volume thrower.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm getting at. Baker Mayfield, on the other hand, talking about the numbers, and this is what I was getting at. Baker's not really a volume thrower. He's just an inaccurate thrower.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when you're looking at it, talking about the numbers kind of are matching. And I know we just talked about this a little earlier, Gord, before you got here, about Parsons being an upgrade on what the receiving core had last year for Cleveland. That's debatable because I know it's not a lot of Odell fans on here, but Odell showed that while maybe not the stud Odell from his youth, he is more than serviceable when healthy. And he demonstrated that. And then when you think Cleveland was last in receiving touchdowns last year, and there's no way that the receiving core that Cleveland had justified them being last in receiving touchdowns. No way. You tell me Landry and them was just bummed? No way.
I disagree with. I know you think quite high, overly high of Odell.
Listen to what I said.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
No way.
And I agree.
Stud from his youth. No way is he that stud from his youth.
One of the reasons why. More than serviceable. One of the reasons why I think about this, though. One of the reasons why they were last is because they were a run-dominant offense.
No, because they had an inaccurate throwing quarterback.
Top that, though, they had a run-dominant offense. Cleveland was one of the more dominant run offenses in the league.
Because they had no choice.
They should have been.
Because you had no choice.
They should have been anyway. But
I'll tell you something. If you threw Tom Brady in that Knicks, do you think there's still a run-dominant offense? I'm going to tell you right now.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
No. Yes, because
my God.
It makes the game so much easier. You need to think about football. It makes the game so much easier when you can run the ball down people's throats. You can take people off the field.
Okay.
Hey, an offense can't score if they're not on the field. I think they would be right on the offense.
Is Tom Brady ever played on a team that's been run dominant?
He played with Belichick. They didn't have it like that.
Okay, here's my question.
You think about this. What type of backs did they have?
I don't care.
What type of backs did they have?
Listen. Has he ever been in a situation where he's been on a team that has been run dominant?
Has he ever been on a team that had the league leading rusher?
He wouldn't. This the point.
Has he ever been on a team that had a league leading rusher?
He will never have.
Mm-hmm.
He will never have it. If you put Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Jim Brown reincarnated, all of them on the team with Tom Brady, he still won't have the team that is leading the league in rushing yards.
I believe they would because one thing about Brady you don't get. Brady is a winner, man. And Brady knows that, look, okay, I'll throw when I have to, not just because I want to.
Yes, but also in that, having said that, what you forgot is he also throws because he can.
Yeah. Also, a lot of them that would throw.
That's the difference.
And I'm gonna tell you like this. You ever notice most of the guys that lead the league in throwing in yards of throwing? You realize that they don't win Super Bowls.
They don't win, and I can appreciate that. I understand that. Case in point, Dak Prescott. And I got it. And they
it does have to be more balanced, but I feel like a good running back under Tom Brady would not work because I think he prefers to throw. I know I just said about the balance, but I think he prefers to throw a little more than run, and I think at this point the coaches kind of defer to him and let him do what he feels comfortable in this situation. And I think probably 9 times out of 10, he's going to throw a short, quick route to a receiver 3 or 4 yards and make them do the rest versus calling a run.
You know why?
Why?
Because he's one of the most high IQ players in the league. And with that, when you're a high IQ person, your philosophy in life is always this. Your philosophy is always to work smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm.
Which is smarter? Where's the most bang for the buck? Throwing or running?
If you look at the throws, look at the throws. No, look at the throws.
Because hold on, one quick thing.
Man. Okay. The throws, when you think about this, the league is based off of dink and dunk passes, short throws. It's not that many. Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys that'll throw that bomb. There's some guys that'll throw that bomb, but a lot of it is off of just short jabs. So they're not hard throws anyway. But I'll say this. If you look at it like this, you do what you use the best resources you have available. If you have a Derrick Henry, why are you trying to throw the ball when he can just run over everybody? Yeah. You use what you have. Yeah. Man, if you got a 4-wheel drive truck, why are you gonna get out there and race sports cars? You gotta use what you have available. And I'm gonna say this: Aaron Rodgers, who is a bad boy, a bad man. Now, that dude is not going to win the Super Bowl unless he got him a good run, unless he's got a running back. He's got to have a running back. Aaron Rodgers got to have that running back. But he's smart enough to know that. Because once you become just a throwing team, you're much easier to defend.
I agree wholeheartedly. You got to have.
It comes back to the IQ thing. It comes back to the IQ thing. Now that quarterback has to outsmart the defense to figure out how to beat the defense throwing. Because I think it also comes down to load management too, which is kind of a ridiculous thing. But with a quarterback like Tom Brady and his IQ, and I think he probably tries to load manage his running backs because not to say all of football isn't a physical game, but especially the running game is probably more physical than the passing game. So he probably tries to do that to cut down on the wear and tear on his running back. But that's when he just needs to outsmart the defense, figure out, get the ball off fast enough where they can't think fast enough on their feet. And he's good at that. That's what he's known for.
But you know what? And when you say that, you think about efficiency and all this. Okay. You realize it's easier to run block than it is to pass block for linemen?
Yeah.
It's easier to run block than it is to pass block. Now, the load is not going to be on the quarterback. It's going to be on the running back anyway. You're right. Okay, yeah, we saved him some reps, But for the most part, hey, if you can plow through, the 90s Cowboys, man, you realize as great a quarterback as Troy Aikman was, as great a receiver as Michael Irvin was, Emmitt Smith, I don't think will we ever see anybody pass Emmitt Smith in yards. Just think about that.
No, because the game's evolved.
Touchdowns and yards. Now, what I'm saying is this, though. That's a great example of this right here. As great as he was, when you know that you can just stand up there and go toe-to-toe on that line and say, all right, we need 5 yards and we're getting ready to get it. You can't stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, even compared to then, guys are bigger, faster, stronger than they were then. So, I think the run block versus pass block might almost be equal now. So to what your argument of what I said earlier about run blocking being easier, I would think they're maybe a little more evened out now, because things are just different from both sides, and rules are different too.
And then also in this, one of the top NFL quarterbacks now of all time, who's recently retired, Breeze. Man, they threw short passes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did. Breeze wasn't up to throw the ball down the field, dude.
No.
So with that, just saying that's my argument on all that. And as for Odell Beckham, serviceable, yes. A great NFL running wide receiver. He won't go down in that. He won't go down. If you look at stuff now, you look at what he did in his time frame, just in those seasons with New York alone, he was still not made top 10.
Let me ask you this though: will his legacy look better now that he's had a decent season here, won him a championship, or would it look better if he'd have stayed at Cleveland and his career would have continued the way it was looking in Cleveland.
Oh, it's always going to look better. He got a championship behind him.
And did you say he contributed to it?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my hell no.
God.
But I'm
Give me a break. We're not going to saint that guy. That guy is no saint. Give me a break.
Because I'm going to say this.
I didn't say saint. I said, would you think he contributed to it?
He didn't contribute. He don't know where the hell he's at on the damn field. He never does.
But the thing about it is this. What y'all missing is this. What's his name? Aaron Donald? Cooper Cuff. That defense.
That was the player.
And Cooper Cuff, hands down, nowhere close. Odell Beckham, he couldn't carry Cooper Cuff's jockstrap.
That's exactly right.
We're not comparing Cooper Cuff and Odell. All I asked was, did he contribute to that championship?
He made some plays.
Absolutely. And without his plays, they're not winning. Just like, look, without Cooper Kupp's plays, they're not winning. No.
I'm not going to say that because you put somebody else out there and those throws, they weren't like super duper throws.
See, y'all think that this is the thing y'all think. Y'all think that the game is based off of destiny, that they're going to win and the play is going to be made regardless. No. Everything. The game is as much about timing as it is about anything else. And that timing is directly relatable to or with respect to any particular player as well as the collective group of the players. If said player does not run like this and this player does not move like that, that play does not turn out just like it turned out. Because players are individuals, the way each individual plays, man, it's not going to pan out. So that's what I say. He absolutely contributed to the championship. I never said that he was better than Cooper Kupp at all. Never even implied that. I just simply was saying his legacy now, having won a championship and having been a contributor, making a contribution to that championship versus the way his career was looking in Cleveland.
It makes him a legend in his own mind. And that's about the only place he's going to be a legend. If any other player would have been on that team, they would have probably had the same contribution as he did.
Oh my!
He ain't nothing special. He wasn't nothing special here, and he ain't nothing special over there either. Yeah, break that. Every time that guy does something, he has to take himself out because he's hurt, and he's not really hurt. He just doesn't want to play. I have no sympathy for that guy. None whatsoever.
He fell down. He caught the ball, fell down on the sideline by himself, and nobody by him, and couldn't get back up because he wanted to go out the game.
He had fallen because he couldn't get up.
Yep.
And there you go.
Just like the old lady.
Oh, no, better yet.
I'm falling and I can't get up.
He couldn't fall down. I'm like, come on, man.
You're saying he might need a life alert? We might want to sign him up for that.
Yeah, we give him a life alert then.
That sounds cool.
On,
no, he's a very serviceable guy, I guess, if he can stay healthy, And he's not bad, but I mean, there's so many wide receivers out there that are better. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Tyreek and those boys there in Miami this year. And, it's going to be some things. We're going to see some things this year. I'm excited about the season. Although I am just a Cowboy fan, I'm still excited about the season because Cowboys are going to be about where they were last year.
Mm-hmm. I just, Cowboys. Yeah, I don't know about them Cowboys.
I don't either. I really don't.
For the saying, got to change that saying. How about them Cowboys? Got to change that. I don't know about them Cowboys.
Over the last 20 or so years, I've seen these prima donnas come into Cleveland. You had Josh Gordon. And then all of a sudden he gets drugged up and he can't even make a play, and he was a prima donna. Now, then you get the prima donna of Jarvis Landry. Jarvis was a decent player. I'll give him that. But he got hurt a lot. And then you have that other person that we were talking about. He was a prima donna, and he tried to act like it, and he was a legend in his own mind. Ain't no question about that. But is he a legend in football? I doubt it.
No.
Well, wait, which guy are you referring to? Which guy are you referring to, Pat? Because there were two prima donnas.
And then you got these prima donna quarterbacks that we won't even go into that. You know, it just cracks me up that these teams or these players just think that no team can ever do without them. And it's not that. That's not the way football and that's supposed to be played. It's like building these sports teams around one player. That player ain't going to be there forever. And when he leaves, you got nothing.
Here's what's going to be funny. Odell leaves, contributes, wins a championship. Baker leaves, goes to Carolina. And we want to see what his contribution is going to win and what it's going to result in at the end of the season.
And I'm going to say this. In his defense, he is in a horrible situation.
In whose defense?
Baker.
He's in a great situation.
Man, you got to be, you nutso. You are the extremest trash, man.
Man, he's in a great situation.
Okay. But how good do you think that team going to be this year, Nate?
With him?
Think they're going to be a playoff team?
Not with him.
Do you think that they would be a play? You could put Brady over there. That team ain't winning.
They'd be a playoff team. I pencil them in. My money would be on them to go to the Super Bowl if Brady was there.
I'd take your money too, bro. I'd take your money.
But Brady isn't there. Else. You know, Brady isn't there.
But and you know, because Brady, you know, he is different. He's different, and I saw some stuff on some of those players with Darrell Reeves and some of those other ones that when they were there in up there with Brady and Belichick, and Brady was the most dominant contributor to that franchise because first off, Belichick, those guys didn't like Belichick. Belichick was cutthroat. They couldn't stand it. They said Brady was that dude. He'd take that butt chewing for the team, for whomever, you know. Brady was that dude. He was just that guy that was going to help you get your bread. That was the same thing with AB. He was helping him get his money, man. And AB lost his mind. Moron. You know, but Brady was that dude. Belichick would sit him down because they didn't want to pay him. Belichick would sit him down because he didn't want to pay him.
We'll give us about another 4 minutes.
Brady's something else.
We're going to give us about another 4 minutes, and we'll have to wrap it up here.
AD might be, maybe he was auditioning for, wasn't Boys, man, the famous little dance crew dudes. Chippendale. Maybe he was auditioning for Chippendale or something.
Kind of break off a little bit on talking about, you know, Brady and that, but another thing that come up this week is the retirement of Vincent K. McMahon from WWE.
Wow.
77 years old.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah. He's going through some allegations too right now. You know, that hush money.
Yeah, so. He wasn't pinching backsides, was he?
Was he going to masseuses?
No. I think it was some former female wrestlers that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, stuff 30, 40 years ago.
Paying off some, I think like $3 million a piece or something like that. Man.
But these guys, man, I'm like, man, come on, man. Jeez.
On a quick side note, news about two quarterbacks. Former Ohio State quarterback JT Barrett is now an assistant for the Detroit Lions, and Malik Willis signed a his rookie contract with the Tennessee Titans. So
that's awesome, man. I'm happy for Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe he'll find his niche. You know, I mean, he started out, man, wow, shining star, and he kind of fizzled out as a tarnished stone, you know.
Mm-hmm. I had heard an interview with him a month and a half ago, and he said he really wanted to get into coaching. He wasn't sure when he would. So, good for Detroit for giving him a chance to try to get into coaching.
Talking about Ohio State quarterback, whatever happened to Braxton Miller?
Ooh,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, so many of them, man. What happens to them, man?
Yeah.
We talked about Cordell Jones earlier. So Cordell Jones, J.T. Barrett, now Braxton Miller. Unfortunately, the other young fella there just recently, that was some awful news this summer.
Yep, that's the way the sports go. Anyway, we need to, we can probably wrap this up. Shawn, you want to put a ribbon on it?
Well, today's topics are like normal with Deshawn's saga right now going still. And NFL training camp starting up this week. We talked about some of that stuff going on, and then NBA topics and all that, and some of these other little topics we spoke about. Well, let's go. Have a good weekend now.
For anybody that is listening or wants to go back and listen to any of the shows here on Crooked River, we are on Spreaker.com. Also, this show has been added to Apple over the last couple of days. So,
what was it, 600 pounds?
You can find us on Apple, the Apple Podcasting, along with a lot of the other social media things. We'll catch y'all next week. Have a grand week, and we will see you all. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Eric, thank you. And Nate, Gordon, hope to see you both the next week. And,
yeah.
Have a good week, all.
All right.
Yes.
Yep.
This has been a Crooked River Media production.